Yo ho ho, welcome back aboard. Aaron back with watches, birds, and loot, or as I call it, treasure. And today we're going to cover a first, or my first Doxa, the Doxa T.GRAPH. But first, before the first of the first, we're going to do a wrist check. No, we don't. We do a bird check. We do bird checks here because we love birds. I don't know why. Somehow I got stuck with all these birds. But this is Finley trying to get away from me. She's a cockatiel, and she's going around and just checking everything on the desk. So we'll leave her alone, and we'll start off unboxing this Doxa T.GRAPH. And before I get started unboxing, or while I'm unboxing, this watch has been extensively written about online, so I'm not going to go into its history, but if you're interested, there is a couple of great articles by Jason Heaton of the Hodinkee Grey NATO podcast fame that really dives deep, no pun intended, into this watch. I'm not even going to try to go into the history because of that, so I'll put the links down in the description. So this one, yeah, it's a reissue of a 1969 model, which was available pretty much at only dive shops. So serious divers, hobbyists purchased them. There wasn't a lot to go around, 900 total with 300, three different colors. So white, orange, and black. Or I think silver, orange, and black, I believe. And it debuted in early 2019, this reissue at Baselworld. It was solid gold, 13 pieces for a total of $70,000, I believe, each for the solid gold ones. But people were like, why didn't you make them in steel? So, yep, just that's some following summer they released these in steel. This one I picked up at Exquisite Timepieces in Naples, Florida. Tyler was my contact. I'll put the link down in the description for the info on Exquisite. But going from Arizona all the way to Florida to get a watch, he was the only one that had one of these since there weren't that many made. Was it this is 278 of 300. I'll put the link down in the description. It's a pretty big watch company. I mean, they've got over 70 brands of watches. So definitely check them out. They even have pre-owned too. And don't forget to ask for discounts. A lot of them have, there's coupon codes and different sales and things going on. So I highly recommend checking them out. I don't have any skin in the game on it, but I'm just letting you know my experience was great with Tyler. I put it on this leather strap from Waldan watches. I like that it had this yellow to kind of go with the yellow on the dial. So it looks pretty good. I'm probably gonna switch it out for something else. If you know me, I'm always switching out straps. But this one, let's see, has also comes with the rubber strap. Just it's a molded, so it really fits nicely, comfortable. It has diver's extension or just a micro adjust sliding, which is always something we're all looking for. And I also got the beads of rice bracelet. I really don't wear a lot of bracelets. I don't know why. I even though we're in Arizona and it's super hot here in the summer, I tend to not wear bracelets. I tend to go for leather, sometimes rubber. But this one also had a cool lanyard with it. Doxa lanyard. I don't know what this little foam thing was for. Model number. But again, retail, hey, you guys shop it around. Get your discounts where you can get them. What is Finley doing here? All right, let me pause. Hold on one sec. Okay, it looked like she was eating a spring bar. Anywho, back to the watch. Valjoux 7734 movement. So this is not an automatic. This is a hand wind. You get a winder every day. I was wearing it for about a week straight up until recently, and I probably put about 15 winds on it every day just to kind of give it some more juice. I don't want to overwind it. I really don't know if you can overwind these. I doubt it, but I don't want to take a chance. I just kind of slowly give her a few turns. Finley, what are you doing? Got to keep checking on her. This movement was produced in Switzerland up until, what was it, 74. That's the 7734. Like I said, the 7733 has no date. So this has the date at the bottom, which is cool. These were new old stock movements that the Doxa family had somewhere stashed away. New old stock, little debatable term. What exactly is new old stock? A lot of people, I don't want to say controversy over it, but people have different ideas about what exactly new old stock is, because these do have to be, re-oiled and kind of cleaned and handled, and new old stock is like in a package, brand new, and it's not touched, is kind of my thought of what new old stock is. But these have been kind of refurbished new old stock. There was it Worn and Wound had a Hamilton from back in the 60s or 70s that was all new old stock, and you could either order it with the movement being serviced or the watch just as is. So with all the oils and things probably gunked up in there from sitting for so long. So again, what is new old stock? I'll leave it up to you to decide, but we could at least say it's mostly vintage. It's vintage parts inside, right? So the way this watch works is, wind, it's not screw down crown, chronograph, press to start. Oh, this is from a bird bite. I only have one. That's kind of rare. And so that she goes around like that. This hand checks off the minutes. This sub-dial. And this is your running seconds over here. So stop. There you go. Then it clicks back up. It does not have quick set date. So what that means is you have to go around. So where are we on the 11th? So you have to go around. You could just keep going around like that. There I went to the 12th. But I go to like past 3, go back to 9. And there it goes again. So if you let this run out, that's a real pain in the butt to set the date on this. If it's in the middle of the month or something and you're at the end of the month and you got to do that, 20 or more times, it's super annoying. So usually I just wear this one for a while, what I've been doing, and then putting it away, and then maybe get it back out when it's the 13th or the 12th, and then I can set it. That's like the lazy collector way to do things. But anyway, all right, I'm going to pause again because Finley's eating a box. All right, Finley, come up on my shoulder. Come on, buddy. Sit up here for a while, all right? There we go. Now we can't get in trouble. So this movement runs at a blistering 18,000 beats, 2.5 hertz. So that's 3 beats per second. It looks like it's running at 36,000 beats, or 5 hertz in that way that second hand's moving. Now this hand moves. The chronograph hand, you can see that is quite slow. So low beat. Let's call it a low beat movement. 45-hour power reserve. Like I said, hand wind. It is not hacking, which means when you pull the crown, it does not stop, keeps running. We like hacking to be able to set our watches to the exact second time, or to the exact second every day, or however often you want to set it. And again, not automatic, no quick set date. Let's see, 43 millimeter. So she's pretty good size. It's 15 millimeters thick. I almost dropped it. So a lot of people will not wear something like this because of that thickness. You know, everybody wants to see something around 10 or 12 millimeters. I do not find this sits up on the wrist. I'll get it on for you in a second, but this really sits great. So I don't notice the thickness. It's a 200 meter, sub 200. And it's a cool sailboat on the case back. Doxa Sub T.GRAPH. It's polished on the front of the bezel. You can get a picture of that. And satin or brushed on the rest. And then the back is polished. You can see I've been wearing this, even though this is new to me, I've been wearing the heck out of this thing. Hear the click tickery on this. Oh, sounds so good. I'd love to play with it. 20 millimeter lugs. So any strap will fit this, which I love, because I'll be switching. If you know me with straps, I'm all over the place with it, with straps. So let me throw this on the wrist and we'll take a look at that. Wrist, 19 centimeters. But as you can see, it doesn't, I mean, the 43 millimeter is, you would think that's big, which is not. It's really got a compact lug to lug. And look how it's sitting up from the side. I mean, it stands up a little bit, but it's not terrible. It's really, really comfortable. And again, this leather strap, Finley, get your tail out of there. Not a wrist check. That doesn't count as a wrist check. No, Finley, it doesn't. So don't feel bad. No, don't put your head down. It's not sad. It's not a wrist check. We just do bird checks. All right, let's check out the timegrapher. Timegraphar. See, timegraphar. But doing good. 4 seconds a day plus 4. And then you can see amplitude is, that's normal for an older type movement. And then 18,000 beats. So she's slow, but just dropped down to +2. So yeah, I usually when I get a new watch, I put it right on the timegraphar. And I didn't do it this time. So I was kind of nervous turning this on and going, oh my gosh, what if this comes up like super off or something? And oh, that could have been a disaster. There's a lume, not too bad. It's kind of that vintage lume, Fotina. What is that, old radium? I think this would be considered old radium. But it stays bright for a little while. Not a super long time, but not bad. Taking it out in the backyard. Get an idea of the color, even though it's kind of cloudy today, that color, that orange and the yellow. And then you can kind of see how it complements my Big Lebowski pants. So trash or treasure? Come on, it's treasure. I'm never getting rid of this. I wanted one Doxa, and honestly, I wanted to get something kind of rare, something which they do have a few different other models that are rare. This was my favorite, especially being a chronograph, a 2-dial chronograph like that. You know, numbered, limited edition, orange dial. It just meets, and I can put any strap on it. She's a keeper, so treasure. Okay, ending each video from now on, we are doing the loot part of my little watches, birds, and loot. Loot is going to be something that I find interesting. I might think you guys find it interesting. Loot is a treasure, and this is a treasure to me. So, what did you think? I wasn't going to do something pirate related for the first loot section. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Now, I'm not going to talk about the book other than it was written in 1883. The golden age of pirates was in the mid 1700s, early 1700s. So this had a lot to do. Writing this book had a lot to do with the information that was available back then about pirates. But what I'm going to talk about is the Disney movie, Disney's first live-action film, it was released in 1950. And yeah, my parents took me to see it in a re-release of it in the 70s, mid-70s in theaters. And then we went to Disneyland after that, I remember. And when I got to go on Pirates of the Caribbean, I was pretty little. So I was just like, wow, this is incredible, because the movie has so much to do with the ride. If you love the ride, see the movie, get an idea where we get pirate talk, and that's where pirate talk comes from. It's from that movie. Robert Newton as Long John Silver, and it's kind of commonly accepted that his mannerisms and the way of speaking were pretty much what we call pirate talk nowadays. Or talk, there's the talk like a pirate day and all that. So 15 men on a dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Guess where that came from? Robert Louis Stevenson. And there's a few couple of songs that's sung in the book. And I don't know, I can't remember if they're sung in the movie, but that's where the songs came from this book. So great read, book available everywhere, movie, watch it for free if you have Disney Plus. Dude, Captain Jack Sparrow has nothing on Long John Silver. Let me just tell you that much. When you see that performance by what's his name, Robert Newton, you'll understand pirates in a whole new way. He is just amazing. But anyway, let's do our wrap up and say goodbye to our birdies. All right, Finley, come over here. Get over here. Right over here. Oh, forget it. She doesn't. Oh, birds. Feed the birds. It's only a tuppence a bag. Just remember that. If you can catch them. Sometimes you can't feed the birds. When I say bags. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And see you on the next video. Rah, 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 rah.